Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Once upon a time, in a beautiful kingdom far, far away, there lived a kind and lovely princess named Snow White. She had skin as white as fresh snow, lips as red as roses, and hair as black as the midnight sky.
Good morning, Princess.
Snow White lived in a grand castle with her father, the king, who loved her very much. Snow White was the sweetest, most gentle princess you could ever meet. She loved to sing with the birds, dance in the gardens, and help everyone she met. But one sad day, the king married a new queen who was very different from Snow White. The new queen was beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, her heart was cold and mean. She was very vain, which means she only cared about being the most beautiful person in the whole kingdom. The queen had a special magic mirror that hung on her wall. Every single day, she would stand in front of the mirror and ask,
"Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?"
And every day, the magic mirror would answer in its deep, echoey voice,
"You, my queen, are the fairest in the land."
This answer made the queen smile and feel happy. But the queen didn't know that Snow White was growing up and becoming more beautiful every single day. One morning, when Snow White had just turned into a young woman, the queen stood before her mirror as usual and asked,
"Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?"
But this time, the mirror said something different.
"You are very beautiful, my queen. Snow White is more beautiful than you."
Dare lie to me! I am the fairest! Tell me I am right,
She
or I will
was so
destroy
jealous
you!
and so furious that she couldn't think of anything except getting rid of Snow White.
Bring the huntsman to me at once, and do not dawdle, you imbecile! Take Snow White into the forest. I want her gone, permanently. Bring me proof of the deed, or your life is forfeit. Listen carefully, huntsman. You will do precisely as I say. Do not fail me.
The huntsman felt very sad because he knew Snow White was kind and good, but he had to obey the queen. So, the next day, he said to Snow White,
"Princess Snow White, would you like to take a walk in the forest with me? We can pick wild flowers in the beautiful forest."
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I agree completely.
They walked deeper and deeper into the forest, farther than Snow White had ever been before. The tall trees blocked out the sunlight, and strange sounds came from the bushes. When they were very far from the castle, the huntsman stopped walking. He looked at Snow White's kind face and couldn't be mean to her.
Please tell me what is wrong. Why do you look so sad?
"Princess Snow White, the queen wants me to leave you here in the forest. She's jealous of your beauty, and you must run away and never come back to the castle."
Snow White's eyes filled with tears. She was scared and confused, but she understood.
Thank you for being kind to me.
Then she turned and ran deeper into the dark forest, her heart pounding with fear. Snow White ran and ran until her feet hurt and she couldn't run any more. The forest was dark and spooky. Strange shadows moved between the trees. Owls hooted and branches reached out like twisted fingers. Snow White was more frightened than she had ever been in her whole life. She stumbled over roots and pushed through bushes until finally, just when she thought she couldn't go any farther, she saw a light shining through the trees. Snow White walked toward the light and discovered the most adorable little cottage. It was tiny and cozy, with a red roof, white walls, and smoke coming from a small chimney. The windows glowed with warm, welcoming light. Snow White was so tired and scared that she knocked on the door. When nobody answered, she carefully pushed the door open and stepped inside. Inside the cottage, everything was small and neat. There was a tiny table with 7 little chairs around it. On the table was 7 little plates, 7 little cups, and 7 little forks and knives. Along one wall were 7 little beds in a row, each one covered with a colorful quilt. Everything was clean and tidy, but very, very dusty, as if nobody had been home for a while. Snow White was so exhausted from running that she lay down across 3 of the little beds and fell fast asleep. She didn't even hear the front door open several hours later, when 7 little men came marching home from their work in the diamond mines in the mountains. These 7 little men were dwarfs, each one no taller than a young child. They worked hard every day digging for sparkling diamonds and beautiful gems. When they walked into their cottage and saw someone sleeping on their beds, they were very surprised. "Who's that?" whispered the first dwarf, whose name was Doc. He was the smartest one.
Beautiful.
"She's beautiful," said the second dwarf, named Bashful, blushing and hiding behind his hat. "Wake her up," said Grumpy, the third dwarf, who was always in a bad mood and suspicious of everyone. "Let her sleep," said Happy, the fourth dwarf, who was always smiling and cheerful. "Achoo!" sneezed Sneezy, the fifth dwarf, who had allergies and sneezed all the time. "I'm tired too," yawned Sleepy, the sixth dwarf, rubbing his eyes.
Too.
"Shh! Don't wake her," whispered Dopey,
Don't
the
wake
seventh
her.
dwarf, who never spoke but was very sweet and silly. All the noise finally woke Snow White up. She opened her eyes and saw 7 little faces staring at her. At first she was startled, but then she saw how kind their eyes were, and she smiled.